in the heart of Ole, an African town where the sun burned the earth and whispers carried like the wind, lived Ogiomo and his wife, Kua. They had 3 children, 2 sons and a newborn daughter. But their home, which should have been a place of love, was instead a house of sorrow. Ogiomo was a reckless man, known in the town for his drunken nights and his affairs with different women. He had no shame, moving from bar to bar, his breath reeking of palm wine, while his wife, Iku, struggled as a petty trader just to put food on the table. Yet, despite his flaws, Iku loved him, perhaps too much. She believed that someday he would change, that he would see the pain in her eyes and return to the man she once thought he was. But fate had other plans. One evening, Ogiomo arrived home with a woman. She was young, strikingly beautiful, and had a cunning glint in her eyes. "This is Yuen," Ogiomo announced. "She is my cousin. She needs a place to stay for a few months." Iku, though exhausted from the burdens of her home, welcomed the stranger with open arms. She never questioned her husband's words because she barely knew his extended family. And when she asked 2 of his siblings, they nodded in agreement, masking their deception behind forced smiles. Yuen settled in, and at first she played her role well. She acted humble, helped around the house, and spoke sweetly to Iku, calling her sister. But behind those honeyed words lay a heart filled with darkness. She was not Ogiomo's cousin. She was his mistress. Yuen wanted Iku gone. She wanted Ogiomo for herself, and she was willing to do anything to make it happen. But she was clever. She didn't rush. Instead, she played the long game, waiting for the perfect moment. Iku had just given birth to a baby girl, and like any mother, she was vulnerable, exhausted from sleepless nights and the demands of a newborn. She thought Yuen was there to help her. She never saw the dagger of betrayal hidden behind that innocent face. Then, one night, Yuen prepared a meal for Iku. A simple meal, one Iku had eaten many times before. But this time it was different. This time it was laced with poison, a slow, creeping poison that wouldn't kill immediately, but would break her body bit by bit. Iku ate. She felt the first wave of sickness that very night. At first, it was just dizziness, then weakness, then pain that clawed at her insides. Her breast milk, tainted by the poison, carried death to her infant daughter. Within weeks, the baby fell sick. Iku ran from one hospital to another, from one traditional healer to the next, her heart breaking as she watched her child grow weaker. And then, tragedy. Her baby took her last breath in her arms. Iku wailed in grief, her cries echoing through the town. But the poison did not stop. It kept eating away at her body failing, her strength vanishing. All the while, Yuen played her part. She feigned concern, pretended to care, even took Iku to hospitals, buying her medicines, just enough to keep suspicion at bay. Until one fateful night, Iku's fight ended. She was gone. The town of Ole gathered for Iku's burial. As the mourners whispered among themselves, something unsettling began to unfold. Someone, a neighbor, stepped forward. "I never trusted that woman," she said. "One day, I saw her cooking for Iku, and she hid something in the food. I thought it was just spices, but something about her movements felt wrong." Another voice rose. Yuen was never Ogiomo's cousin. She was his mistress. Gasps filled the air. Murmurs turned into accusations. The truth had been hidden in plain sight, and now it stood naked before them all. But it was too late. Iku was already buried, her body swallowed by the earth, her suffering silenced forever. Ogiomo, unbothered by the revelations, continued his life with Ewan. But something was different. People now watched them with wary eyes, their shadows tainted by guilt. Before long, they vanished, leaving Orwell behind. Some say they moved to a distant town. Others say karma caught up with them, that misfortune followed them like a curse. As for Iku's sons, no one knows their fate. Did they grow strong, carrying the memory of their mother? Did they one day learn the truth and seek justice? The answers remain lost to time. But one thing is certain: evil may flourish for a while, but the spirits of the wronged never rest. And in the end, justice always finds its way.